Hi, and welcome to City Happenings. I'm Mayor David Black. Our new police chief is in place. You'll get to hear from him. And one of our most popular events, the annual spring cleanup, is scheduled for the end of the week and the weekend. Our Public Works Director fills you in on how it works. And once again, the local school district is recognized for its excellence. The district superintendent talks about it. All of these stories are next in City Happenings for the week of April 13th.
Thanks, Mayor Black. The city welcomes its new police chief, Scott Lyons.
One of the things that I started doing before I started on March 2nd was becoming accustomed to the culture of the police department, and that's a continual process as well as the community. And I'm starting to get more accustomed to what is going on in the police department, and I'm starting to get outside the walls of the police department. I've done several different things, meeting one-on-one with the employees and meeting with city staff. That's going to continue over the course of the next several months, and then getting out into the community and talking to stakeholders about what we could do better, what we do very, very well. And I think you'll start to see some things start to leak out. I know one of the issues that we've started to talk about is how active we are in social media. And so that's very important to police departments nowadays, is getting a message out and having contact with the community.
The chief says a positive relationship with the community is key.
It's very important to what we do on a daily basis. And it's very important to have a strong relationship with your community, because they're the ones that tell us where the problems are. And building those strategies sometimes can be very difficult if you don't have that input. And you don't know where the problems are. That's half the battle. And sometimes it's very important to ask when you don't know.
Lyons says one challenge is the learning curve from Lee's Summit to Papillion.
It's been very interesting because I came from an environment where police departments had their own communications systems. They had their own detention facilities. And there is such a great regional cooperation with multiple agencies surrounding Papillion. All the way from Sarpy County to Bellevue to La Vista. Those relationships are very unique, and they're very exciting for me because it maximizes the resources of the community. It maximizes the ability to get the job done and share costs across a broad spectrum. And what I've seen in regards to the communications center, the 911 center, the detention facility, they're outstanding at what they do. And when you're able to concentrate on just one task, you do it extremely well. And so that's been one of my biggest, change in paradigms. There's been others that have come along from radio codes and radio speak. I just have to learn a different language. I went through firearms training my first week, and I wasn't really apprehensive about that, because I really do like to shoot. But one of the things that I encountered first was the terminology that they use is quite different than what I was accustomed to. And so I was a lot more thinking about those kinds of things. And there's an interesting story. They were shooting a string of fire, and it took me a couple minutes to realize that they were shooting 2 targets instead of 1. So, and that's the state standard. So, very interesting. People are very patient, very willing to explain, and I really like that. It doesn't mean that necessarily that I want to change anything. I'm just having to ask a lot more questions about what I thought I knew.
It's time for the annual spring cleanup.
Basically offering the same things that we had in the past. We do have shredding that takes place on Saturday from 8 to noon until the truck gets full. That's been a big success in that, and we're down at our new facility. Hopefully, probably you'll still be dealing with some construction down there, but we've got it dealt with that in the fall, and we kind of have things moved around. So hopefully once we get through this spring and next fall, our whole place will be pretty well put in place, and we'll have her fenced in, and things will look a little bit different in the fall. But in the spring, it's probably the same locations for the tree dump and that, and the recycling and that stuff. So we're just we're gearing up, and I know that the citizens around Papillion have always taken advantage of this to kind of clean up and spruce up their yards and homes, and that is, they all take pride in that. And so we're just asking everyone that here in Papillion to take advantage of it for those 4 days. This is basically just for the citizens of Papillion. We ask them to bring proof of residency, their driver's license or their water bill to prove that they are a resident.
How do you know what's restricted?
We'll have it on our website, and the main things are electronics, paint, and oil, and hazardous waste. The paint, oil, hazardous waste, there is a under the sink up in Omaha, 120th, and I think it's I Street. They're open 6 days a week that they can take those things, and we give that type of information out. We won't take tires and that, but we'll have it posted on our website, and it'll be up in that, so they can go to our website and see what they can bring and what they can't bring. And we just ask people to adhere to that.
The local school district qualifies for international recognition.
This is a really big deal for the school district in that not all school districts in Nebraska, not all school districts across the country are accredited by Advanced Ed. Advanced Ed is a global accreditation agency. Every one of our schools from elementary to high school is accredited, so this is a culmination of that accreditation process.
What sets this certification apart from other programs?
In Nebraska, there's 2 levels of accreditation. There's state accreditation, which is frankly a less rigorous way for school districts to be accredited. Advanced Ed is much more rigorous in its approach, in the number of indicators, and why it has a great deal of credibility in my mind. We're compared in a numerical fashion not only to other school districts across the country, but across the world, including our Department of Defense schools. What this says about the Papillion-La Vista School District is we are an outstanding school district. We're not perfect by any means, no school district is, but it really did affirm all the outstanding work that our teachers are doing, and it did highlight a few things that we can do to take it to the next level.
We want to let you know about Midlands Hospital's health fair. It's Saturday, April 18th from 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. at the hospital. There will be free low-cost health screenings, lab tests, along with valuable information and healthy snacks. Stay up to date with what's going on in Papillion many ways. You can follow us on Facebook, follow the City of Papillion on Twitter, or even watch our YouTube channel. And information about all of our departments and programs is available on our website. For more about Papillion, go to www.papillion.org or just call the Mayor's Hotline at 402-827-1111. Thanks for watching.